Good evening to everyone and welcome to attend this workshop that held by Saudi Student Club in Perth. Today we have a seminar about writing a paper with high impact that is presented by Dr. Nur. He is Associate Lecturer in Computer Science at the UWA. Welcome Dr. Nur, and you can start your presentation now, please.
Assalamu alaikum. Myself is Nur. I'm working as Associate Lecturer at UWA in Computer Science. So this seminar basically just to get idea how to write a paper with higher impact. We already know how to write a paper. Okay, this is not a big deal. I mean, because we are the researcher. I mean, in UWA or in Australia, we have several universities. So majority of the students they just choose for the PhD or masters by research. So it's important to write their thesis. Okay, so my lecture, my seminar, this seminar, it would just cover how to write a good paper. Okay, not like just a paper. Okay, so I will try to demonstrate in terms of based on my idea or experience. So let's follow then. So why we need a high quality research? Okay, so this is the main question. Maybe it can arise. So a high quality and a general quality, there is a lots of difference. For example, in Australia, majority of the researchers, they follow the core ranking. So there are some ranking best. There are 4 different ranking basically from C, B, A, and A star. So there are some unranked journal or conferences also. But my focus in this lecture, it would be to get some idea or to give some idea how to polish your paper or how to get some good thing from one research. Okay, so this is one question, that why we need a high quality research. Okay, so a high quality research obviously will represent you to understand the world first. And if you need to, if you think that there is something to change in this current world, you can just put it in terms of research. Okay, so this is basically the goal of our research. And the third thing is that you can create your own world. Okay, so if you have some problem in your daily life or in your research or whatever, so you can try to improve it, and you can just manage based on the availability or other resources. So how you can suit into that world. Okay, so this is basically in your PhD thesis or any type of research we should focus. So the third thing, this is basically the motivation. I think I missed something. Yeah. So in everything, I mean, in terms of the research, I mean, to get a outstanding research or to achieve something, you should prepare. Okay. So maybe some student, they are very intelligent or they are very hardworking and they are very smart. Okay, so but the thing is that all the qualities one student should have to get a good research. Okay, because this research journey or this field, it's not for all the students, you know, because if someone don't have the dedication or some don't have that type of motivations in life to do research, so obviously they will fail. So this is basically this slide, you know, maybe majority of you know. I mean, this is one of the slides or the things everyone knows. Okay, so for example, if you so the skills, if you just add all the alphabets number, so you will get 82. Knowledge, you can get 96. Hard work, if you add all the things, so you can get 90. But the attitude is one of the important thing. Okay, so whatever you will do, you must show some attitude on that. Okay, so other skills, other things like the skills, knowledge, hard work, obviously you must have in your own thing. I mean, you must have pursue those, but attitude is the most important. Okay, but for this is for this thing is for the general students alike. Okay, but for a researcher, we have the other things. We have to balance the attitude. We have to balance a correct method or the knowledge or skills what you have. Okay, and you have the most important thing is the time management, because for a PhD student you only have, I mean, in Australia for example, you only have 3 or 4 years. Okay, in US maybe you have 5 or 7 years, but you have lots of other responsibilities in US, okay, rather than doing research. So the time management is the major in, I mean, one major, player to get a good or outstanding research. Okay, so these three things you must have. You must have a good attitude. Good attitude comes, how you can behave or how you understand all the things, the skills or knowledge. So all covers into your attitude. Okay, and you must have some correct method. Correct method means how to communicate with your supervisors or the other fellow students, or how to communicate with other researcher from anywhere from the world. Okay, so you need to grasp this type of methods to get some good thing. Okay, and the final is the time management, because in PhD life you must have submit something in conference or journal. So there should be some time gaps. So you need to prepare your manuscript first, manuscript in some duration. So let's say 3 or 5 4 months you have. So you need to generate one version of that manuscript. So you need to prepare for the time. Okay, so how you can manage the time, because you may have your personal life, you may have your family, or other things. So you need to manage it, that what type of thing you can do during this 3 months, and I have one deadline after the 3 months. So so these are the most important for a researcher to to work on in their first research or whatever. Okay, in the life. So I mean, this is basically the these three things you need to maintain in whole of your life to get a good research. So yeah, so now comes for the skills. The skills basically how to get the motivation in terms of writing a paper. Okay, so what type of skills you master. The thing is that developing a skill, it will take time. If you just think that within 1 month or 2 months I can get a good paper, this is not possible. Okay, so you need to enhance your skill day by day. You need to learn how to write a good thing. Okay, even every day you need to write something, even only one sentence or one paragraph, but you should focus. So you need to think that how can I get something good from my idea, and what type of ideas, because in a paper there are different ideas may have. Okay, so some good idea, some general idea, some medium level idea, whatever, but you need to choose the important thing. I mean, what idea you can sell. Okay, you cannot sell all the ideas in one paper. Okay, but you need to choose some of the ideas which are important in terms of this research or the, yeah. So you need to just choose that. Okay, I have this idea and I will just polish it and try to improve or try to give some better idea based on my current idea. So this should be your skill development part. Okay, so there are different writing models. Okay, so one paper, I mean, it based on different stream. So for example, computer science, we have different pattern. The medical science students, they have different patterns. Okay, the biology and agriculture, so they have different patterns. So I'm not giving you any confusion on the model, so I'm just focusing on one particular writing model, which is basically focused by the computer science students or the researchers. So this writing model, in general, we think that we have one idea, we will do some research on that idea, and after that, we will write that paper. So these are the basically the general writing process. Okay, general writing process. That we have idea, we need to do some research, and at the end, just write the paper. But the thing is that this is not the good way to write a paper. I already told that our title of this seminar is how to write a paper which has a higher impact. How we will put the higher impact. So if you just follow this idea, this model, only you first you have idea, do research and write paper, you can get a paper, but it will not give you a good impact. Okay, so you cannot get a higher impact. So what is the model for getting a higher impact? So just do this way. First, you have idea, try to write something on that idea. Try to write, and every day try to develop, to improve, try to improve that your idea and write, improve idea and write like this. And after that, you just do research. Again, you just come for the polish part. You need to again update your paper, the draft, again do something in terms of research like the experiment and this. So this should be some iterative process. So if you just follow this thing, so your paper, it will get a good shape at the end. Okay. And other parts of a good paper, it obviously you need to put some clear thing like the problem definition. What is my problem? Okay, if you didn't define your problem in your paper, so no one will accept that. Okay, no reader can get the idea from your paper. And your things, it should be the the proposal or whatever, it should be a real. Okay, it shouldn't be totally abstract such that no one can get from that. Okay, so you need to identify from your research or from your writing that what is the main point or what I'm trying to change in this in this research. Okay, so what's my goal? And you need to, if you get that thing, and try to elaborate and polish it multiple times. Okay, so one thing is that what is the ping? Ping means what is the important sound it will come from your paper. Okay, so the sharp sound, sharp idea, the clear idea, it's called the ping. Right, so to get the ping, you need to read it. Okay, the paper, whatever the manuscript version you have, maybe it's in the draft version or whatever. So you need to just read it multiple times. That why I cannot get some sound from my paper. There should be some sound, some sweet sound. Okay, so which will encourage you to elaborate again. So if you don't have this feeling on your paper, on your manuscript, or on your first draft, you cannot get the feeling, or you cannot get a good paper, good research. Okay, so you need to generate, you need to just think that, okay, you need to rewrite. Okay, so this should be the good way to polish your paper, and from that paper at the end you will get some ping, the sharp idea, the clear sound from your paper. Okay, so whatever you have idea, just try to write again. The second day, come in your lab, or just open your laptop again, try to rephrase it. And obviously the main important thing is you need to get a higher impact paper, you need to follow the top researchers. Not only the top researchers, you need to follow the top journal or the top conferences in your particular field. So for example, in pharmacy, they have I don't have any idea that what are the conferences or journals at the top for the pharmacy, but it's very easy to find in Google. Okay, so because we are the Australia, we are researcher from the Australia, so we have the core ranking, CORE. That is one organization. They rank the papers. So we just search something from the core ranking, and we have we have the databases that, okay, this particular field has this type of papers. Its ranks are A star, A or B or C, like this. Okay, so in Australia we follow this type of the ranking of the papers. So for example, if I am from computer science, in computer science there are different subdomains, okay, like the artificial intelligence, databases, cyber security. So we'll just search something, the cyber security, from the core ranking, and we will get some ranks of the venues, okay, the journal or the conferences. We don't follow the researcher who is the top researcher in my field, because the top researchers may have different ideas, or they have different domains, so it will conflict, obviously. So rather than just searching for the top researcher, just search for the top conferences or journal in your domain. This would be your first target, and try to read. So obviously if you are new in this research field, you cannot get all the things in 1 month or 2 months. So it's a repetitive process. So you shouldn't lose hope that I cannot understand this paper. Why I cannot understand? Because maybe you don't have the background or other things. So you just search in Google, that you can search some PPTs of that particular conferences, or from that author, or you can get some videos. You need to search that, okay, this conference paper was published in this venue. So let's try to find some videos from that venue. Okay, because if you get the visual thing of a paper, okay, it would be much more understandable in terms of just reading a paper. Okay, because a paper may have lots of equations, may have lots of different things you don't know. Okay, so this way you need to just try to grasp the ideas from the top journal or conferences, and if you just follow this thing, you can get the trending. Trending means what would be after 5 years, what is the trend, that if I just try to switch my research from today to 3 years after, so what would be the trend? Should I just take that path for the artificial intelligence, or the cyber security, or the other thing will come in the market? So this type of trend you can identify if you follow the journal or the conferences. Okay, so after that you will develop your idea, and just try to write every day. You need to write something. Okay, so what we did basically in our PhD or whatever. So because I'm from computer science, so I'm just giving some example, my personal experience, how we do research. uh, uh, I like to do coding. Okay, so so that's why I try to do something, because I enjoy coding, programming. So that's why I try to do something related to the programming at the night time, or maybe after dinner. Okay, and in the daytime I try to do some writing or reading. So whatever you have the interest, you just do that at the end of your day, because you can stretch it. Because if you have the interest, that means you can stretch it. Maybe you will not bother for that, I need to go sleep, I mean go to bed at 10 a.m. or whatever. Okay, so if because I had the interest for programming or whatever, so that's why I just do at the night, and I can stretch it, uh, 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock or like this at the night. So but in the daytime I only try to focus on the writing part or the reading part. Okay, so morning part, I mean, I only focus for the reading, because at the time the mind it is stable and you can get much more idea. And in the noon part or afternoon part, I try to focus on the writing or related. So you need to divide based on your thing, I mean, what you need. Okay, and what capability you have. So in other fields also you have something, experiments, lab experiments, and others. So just focus the lab experiment, because the biology related students or the medicine related students, they have lots of lab experiments. So you cannot do your lab experiment based on your home or whatever. You need to visit your lab every day. So in the daytime you just try to finish the lab, and at the afternoon, based on the result of your lab, so you just try to note it down or try to write some paragraph or blah blah. So every day you need to just focus on. Okay. So these are basically the main idea to get a good thing. I mean the to structure your paper. Okay. Yeah. So this is I mean one researcher's narrative. Okay. For example, you get some idea and you are thinking that I wish I knew some how to solve that, or how I can make it a much more important idea and blah blah. Okay, so these are the narratives. Like, here is a problem. Okay, I have one problem. Maybe it is a very simple problem, or maybe it's a good problem. Whatever. You need to think that what's the interesting in your problem. Okay, so the problem what you think. So what is the interesting part that you can sell in the market? Okay, so you need to identify that, and after that you need to just check what are the unsolved problem into your domain or based on your idea, what are the unsolved. So you need to obviously solve that problem. Okay. Yeah. So after that you will, okay, I have this idea, and if you get that idea, so you need to think that how this idea will work. Okay, so how you will demonstrate this idea. It doesn't mean that you have idea to move to the Mars. Okay, so one day we will go. It is not possible, right? You need to work on that idea. So for that you need to get some data, you need to do some demonstration, okay, in your lab or like this, and after that you can get some prototype or whatever, the algorithm or whatever, just to move to Mars. Okay. So that means if you have the idea, you need to detail that idea and you need to identify some data. Okay, so what type of data you will work on that idea? If you don't have any data to show, okay, and if you don't have any data to apply your algorithm or anything, so it cannot be sold, right? So there is no meaning of that idea. So the details and data, the experiments, these are the important to get a good paper. Okay, good research. Now we will just discuss for the structure. So I think in the previous slide I just mentioned the general thing. General thing. I mean, I try to just differentiate with the normal paper and a higher impact paper. Okay, I just discuss something that how you will develop your idea, how you will detail your idea, and how you will demonstrate in a proper way. So now come to the structure. So okay, so in computer science basically we have maximum 12 pages in conference paper, and the journal page, it has maybe 20 pages or like this. Okay, but some conferences they have only 7 pages, but I'm just taking one standard conferences, I mean good conferences in computer science, and let's say it has 12 pages. So how the structure of your paper should be. So I'll just give one example, that if you have some paper and you have lots of researchers, so the researcher will only, maybe 1000 researcher readers, they will only read your title. Okay, this is the title. If they think that title is suitable, or it belongs to your domain, research domain, or belongs to your research interest, then that reader may read the abstract. So for example, I am from computer science, but if I get any paper from medicine field, okay, so obviously I will read the title. If I think, okay, that paper is related to me, I mean, maybe that paper is related to coronavirus or blah blah like this, the title contains something, okay, and I have some interest, okay, I want to know about the COVID, or what is the development in terms of medicine for this COVID or like this. So obviously then I will go for try to read. Okay, so obviously I will read the abstract. Okay, After that, if I just get something that, okay, the abstract is also getting very interesting, okay, then maybe I will go for the introduction and into introduction, then the problem and blah blah. Okay, but if I don't have any interest, okay, so maybe I will just stop after reading the title. Okay, so this is one statistic. This is not the true fact, but this one statistic that 1,000 readers. If you have lots of readers and we have one paper, so majority of the readers, they will read your title first. Okay, and maybe only 100 papers, 100 readers, they will just go through your abstract, because that abstract is the gist of your paper. Okay, it may have 6 or 8 sentences with different components, so maybe they will just read the abstract. Okay, only the 100 readers. Similarly, the 100 readers, maybe they get interest of the abstract, they will just go through the introduction. Okay, after that, no one will just go through your paper unless or until they get some good idea or good thing from this particular parts like abstract and introduction. They will stop reading. They will not check what your problem you are trying to do, what your idea you have, or what the details or the related work or what the experiments you did. They will not interest on that. Okay, so that means our paper, we should must maintain a flow. So writing a paper, it's like one river. Okay, so one river, I mean the river has the water, it comes from the top to down. Okay, so the flow of your paper, it should be like the water stream. There shouldn't be any obstacle, it should be smooth. So for example, some researcher, what they do, they just make a good abstract or introduction. After that, the problem or the other things like the idea or whatever, these are just garbage. Okay, so that means they will obviously get stuck on that particular part because of that garbage. So that is the obstacle. Okay, so there they it will not maintain the flow. So a good paper, a higher impact paper or higher impact journal, it should maintain a flow. It will start from something and you shouldn't repeat something. Okay, so the water stream, it didn't go from the down to top again or like this. Okay, it maintain a flow. So in your paper also, you shouldn't repeat. Okay, for example, you put one sentence or one part in introduction somewhere, again you are trying to repeat into the final paragraph of your introduction, because we the researchers, I mean previously we do the same mistake. Okay, so this will just broke the concentration of a reader because it is repetitive. Okay, so that means the flow of the paper, it should be smooth. And here, for example, the structure of this paper, I mean, if we have 12 pages, so it would be the abstract, it would be 4 components. Okay, so I will show you the detail of the abstract, introduction, all the things, what are the 4 components. Okay, so just think that, okay, abstract, it has some 4 components. Introduction, it should be around 1 pages. The problem definition, that what problem you are working on, you should mention it very well. So it should be the part of introduction, so you can get 1 page or half page like this. And after that, how you develop your idea, what type of experiment you are doing, or how you are trying to solve that idea, so that is the important part. And majority of the researchers, they don't focus on this particular part, because this is basically the core of your paper, that how you will develop your idea. So it should be around 2 pages like this. And next one, it should be the detail, that okay, you develop that idea and how you will implement that idea, or what is the result. You cannot claim that, okay, I have a great idea and it can sell, right? This is not the case. If you have the idea, you must have proof that it is working. So to prove that, you need to put the details. So there should be some graph, charts, or the experimental details, and it will take obviously around 5 pages. And this related work, it should be 1 to 2 pages. So this related work sometimes you can put after introduction or at the end of your details. Okay, so different journals or different conference, they have their own structure, so you should follow. And the final is that conclusion and the further work. So if you try to disclose your further future work, you can put in your conclusion, but only 1 or 2 sentences like this. But you should mention a conclusion. Okay, so it would be around 0.5 page or 0.25 pages. So now, what the general readers and the experts do. Okay, so this for abstract and introduction, the general reader, okay, they will just read, no problem. And the non-experts, for example, I'm not experts for different field. Okay, so I will just try to read something. Okay, the problem, okay, and the idea and the related work, what have we have in this field like this. Okay, but the expert user, they will obviously go through the detail of your paper, like the reviewers. Okay, so if you submit one journal or a conference paper in some venue, so the experts, I mean the reviewers, they will go through the details obviously. Okay, so these are basically, I try to just mention about the structure of the paper. Yeah, now comes for the title. Okay, so in general, we shouldn't put the title. So what the majority of researchers they do, they just follow the structure in this way that, okay, first I need to give one title, then I will write a abstract, then introduction, then I will go for the problem, then my idea, and this. But this is not the good way to write a paper. The suitable title, it will come at the end. Okay, when you create your manuscript, you made your draft, you should put a suitable title. Okay, so obviously the suitable title uh, it shouldn't be very lengthy, or it shouldn't be very small. Okay, it should be medium. Try to balance it and try to put the important thing into your title. So for example, we just keep some title like this. Okay, so the titles, it should be catchy. Okay, because some papers they get sold based on the catchy word, but don't make it too tough, words or whatever in your title, so that the general readers, they can understand, okay, this is the title and this is the interesting thing. And you should put this or make this title at the end of your paper when everything is finished, the first draft is finished, then based on your paper, you just made the title. Okay, but before that, you just made some temporary title, it does, I mean, you can do, no problem. Okay, so come for the abstract. So I already mentioned the title, come for the abstract. So abstract has basically these 4 or 5 components. So main idea is that abstract should be brief, and it shouldn't contain any technical thing. Okay, that how you did or whatever. So it should be brief, the general idea. Okay, I mean, such that anyone can at least get something important from your paper. Okay, from that stuff. So it has some components like that state the problem. So what problem you are trying to solve, so you need to mention this in 1 or 2 sentences. Okay, and then you need to obviously say why this problem is interesting, why you will sell this problem. Okay, so it should be, it you should mention it at the second, the block. The third block is that, so you provide your solution and what you achieve. Okay, so you should mention within 2-3 sentences, maximum 2 sentences, that okay, you achieved this, you did this, and based on that, this is your accuracy or whatever. Okay, and the fourth block is that just say that what follows from your solution. Okay, I mean, what type of what type of benefit or like this, or I mean the what is the accuracy, how much percentage is improved from previous researcher work or whatever. So you can mention, if you have this type of existing research, so you can just mention that okay, our paper got this. Okay, so only these 4 blocks every abstract must have. Okay, and another thing is that this abstract we should also write at the end, but before after that, before the title. Okay, so abstract come basically at the end, because if you try to write abstract first, you don't have any idea about what your paper will work. Okay, whether it will work or not. Okay, so don't write your abstract right now, it would be written at the end. Okay, so now come for some example. So here we just give I just give one example, that one abstract, this also. In this abstract there is no this, I mean we didn't follow the four components. Okay, but the right hand side, so you can see there 1 2 3 4. So the five is just basically it is add on. Okay, but these 4 are the those component what I just mentioned previously. So your abstract, it must have the background, that what type of problem you are trying to solve here, and after that you need to specify that problem, that okay, this is the particular problem. So if any reader read only these 2 lines, okay, the background and the specific problem what you mentioned, they can get the interest. Okay, so within 2 or 3 line, I mean, they will just read this first 2-3 line and they will get the interest. Oh, okay, that means this research is based on this thing. Let go for the next line. So the third line, it's like the solution. How you propose the solution. This is your third line. I mean the third block. Next, it would go for the challenge. Challenge means if the solution is easy, so what is the meaning to do? Right? There should be some challenge in your problem, right? In the solution. So you should mention the challenge. And the final is that observation. Observation means that we had get this result and this will just help improve or blah blah. So these are basically only these 4 or 5 blocks. This will be your abstract. So I think you can get the idea of the abstract. I mean, this way we should follow. So now come for the introduction part. So introduction, it should be 1 page. So in this introduction, basically you need to discuss about the problem. Okay, so in introduction also there are four or 5 blocks. Okay, so I'm trying to just mention 3-4 problems. So for example, the first one is what is the broader context. Okay, so for example, if someone try to propose some vaccine for the corona. So what is the context? Okay, so you need to mention that why you are trying to do this research on this vaccination. So what's the context? Context means that why the corona is, this is a deadly virus, and what type of, I mean, you should provide some statistics that okay, based on this virus, there are this percentage of death in some country and blah blah. So this broader context you need to mention, and you need to say that okay, because of that I am just trying to propose some research on vaccination like this. Okay, and after that you need to mention that what is the particular problem. Okay, particular problem is that I am trying to just make some vaccine and try to discuss on that part. Okay, and it should be interesting, right? Yeah, next you should do that what is the new. Okay, so the problem that you are trying to make a vaccine, so what is the new in that. Okay, and why it is useful. Okay, and the last one is that how do you know that, I mean, that you get, I mean, what direction you made. So what is the impact, or how can you evaluate that, okay, this direction will improve the existing one. Okay, so you need to distill that. It would be in your final part of the introduction. Okay, so if you just follow this context, so I already tell that the writing a paper, it's just like a following a stream of water. Okay, so if you just follow this thing, so the introduction, it would be, there is no obstacle, I mean, it would just smoothly follow. Okay, so now go for the next part. I think so this is one example that in introduction you should provide some figures of your particular problem, such that the and based on that figure you need to discuss something that, okay, I am trying to do this, so that the reader can get the visualization from your paper. Okay, so these are the part of the abstract, and obviously you need to state your contribution. So I think everyone know how to present the contribution, that, okay, we get this and this. So you need to mention basically this is also important part, that how you will sell your paper. Okay, in terms of, you need to, I mean, to sell your paper, you need to put the contributions. Okay, that, okay, this paper I have this type of contributions, so based on that, that paper can be sold. So to make the contributions, you need to make it in bullets. So for example, my first contribution is that, okay, I try to develop one vaccine. So this why it is important. So you need to tell these contributions, that, okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 contributions on my research. So it should be clear, because all the majority of the readers, they will obviously think that what is your contribution, why is your contribution. So if you make it in a bullet point or in the numerics, okay, so it will give any reader a good idea about your research. So now come for the contributions, and the contributions should be specific. So for example, some researcher may, I mean, the general normal researcher, they will say, okay, we propose a new model and it is cool and whatever. Okay, so that means there is no information into this part. Everyone can propose a model, and obviously that model may be cool according to them, right? But you need to elaborate that what type of a specific thing you did. So like that, we propose this model which do this, it has this type of feature. So it is much more interactive, right? So you need to think about this. I mean, you need to elaborate the contributions. Okay, so now come for the lengthening the introductions. I think I already mentioned this. So I mean, what type of things you need to put in your introduction, the context, the evaluation, problem, idea, blah blah. Come for the, yeah, some example I will just show, and I will, yeah, because we already spent 40 minutes maybe. So this is one bad example of the introduction. Okay, so this is the abstract I already mentioned, the introduction. So there is, only something, only there is some words, blah 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 blah. Okay, so no one, obviously, if I am a reader, I will not, go through all the lines, because there is nothing interesting to me. What is TIM or what is IAM algorithm, blah blah. So so just continuing that bad example. Okay, I have this. So nothing here, right? This is the introduction part. But if I just do like this way, that, okay, we have something, we have, referencing some papers, that this paper, existing papers do this or that, but we have got some research gap, and try to elaborate this or try to improve this gap. Okay, so if I just mention this way, so obviously it should be interesting, right? And at the end, if I just put some example in terms of some figures, so the researcher, they will get the idea, okay, these are some figures, okay, let's check what is going on in this figure. So then they will come for the example. Okay, so in this example, they will just try to reconstruct the problem in their mind. Okay, so helping to reconstruct the problem in a reader, it is much more important part of getting a good paper. Okay, so this way you need to just try to write the introduction part. So now come for the related work. So related work, I will not spend much more time on this related work because everyone know about the related work, but only maybe I will just focus some few points. So related work, maybe some reader, they don't have any domain knowledge that about your particular domain. Okay, so if you just say that, okay, we adapt this thing from this paper, okay, existing paper, modify something and blah blah. So the reader will not get the idea what you're trying to say. But you need to, in your introduction, basically, you need to rephrase or structure your related work based on your problems. Okay, so one paper may have more than one problem or sub problems. Okay, so just try to put the paragraph in based on the sub problems and try to introduce the existing works on that particular sub problems. Okay, otherwise, the readers will say, okay, I'm feeling tired and I will not read the related work section. Okay, so I'm just skipping some slides. Now go for the important part, that the problem, that your idea and the detail of your idea. Okay, the detail of idea means the experiment and evaluation related things. So presenting the idea, I already mentioned something that how we will present the idea. Okay, so the primary thing is that in every idea or whatever step you are trying to put in your paper, you need to put the intuition that why you are trying to do this. So if you're trying to define something, so you need to mention that why the definition is important right now. Okay, so this intuition you need to make it. So for example, if you are trying to get a burger, okay, and you are not choosing the other dishes, okay, so you need to mention that why you will take the burger, not that sauces, right? So there should be some intuition, that the intuition maybe in this case, maybe you like burger much more than the sauces, or maybe you have much more you don't have any interest to take sauces today because you already take yesterday. So this should be your intuition. Whatever step you will do, you must put the intuitions that, okay, this is my intuition I am trying to do now, and it should be clear in your introduction. Okay, so now you can just know what to do, or like this. I'm just trying to skip this. Yeah, this is the thing, is that you need to present your idea, and this idea, it should be simple. I mean, the presentation, it should be simple. Simple means that each reader, whether that reader is from your domain or maybe from other domain, you should send the reader something that, okay, this is interesting to them. Okay, otherwise, if because I'm also reviewing in some conference or journal, so sometimes I also feel the boring, boredness from their some description of the some of the paragraphs. Okay, so the reader shouldn't get any bored. I mean, you need to try to write this way such that the reader cannot get bored from your writing. Okay, so you should try this way. And whenever you just make your first draft, try to give that draft to other student or other researcher who are not from your domain, and try to say that, okay, just make your comments whether you get some idea or not from this writing or like this. So these are the basically the good way to practice. So here basically the idea, this would be your idea. You just mentioned this is my idea, and based on that idea, you need to make some definition of the problem description. So the idea is that you will just try to make a vaccine for the COVID, And what is your description? Okay, so description means the problem description, that how you will make or the vaccine or like this. So this should be some description. Okay, this is specific to computer science related thing, so I'm just trying to skip it, the problem and the problem definition part. Now I will give you some examples. So the examples is important in the introduction. Okay, I already saw that, yeah, some graph, some figure previously. So that is basically the example. So example is the catchy thing. Okay, every reader will go for the example. I mean, if you provide some figure. Okay, so based on that figure, you need to put, okay, the first concept and give some example, then go for the next concept, or like this way. So this is basically the nutshell of this example, is that running example is that you should say, okay, this is our target and we are trying to do, at the end we will get this result. Okay, so small thing you need to present in your paper as in terms of example, and it should be into the introduction. So there are some, I am just also skipping this, is not so important. And the evidence. Okay, evidence means that experiment part. Your introduction, you need to make something in your introduction that, okay, we have this, we claim this, and we get this. So you need to put that evidence that we have this particular thing from our research. And to support that, you need to put the evidence, okay, that we get this type of accuracy, or we get this type of better result, or this and that. Okay, you need to compare something. Okay, for example, in terms of vaccine, you need to compare the effectiveness of that vaccine with, I mean, in comparing with the other, or like this. Okay, so you need to mention some paragraph into the introduction part. So that is called the evidence. Okay, so I'm just skipping this. So now we will go for the general idea. I mean, this is I already mentioned that how you will claim that your method or your program or your research do this. So you need to make some sub paragraph for that and claim the evidence. Okay, that based on my experiment we get this, and this is, you need to prove that, okay, this is working very well in terms of the existing. I mean, if you compare with the existing paper or existing research, we get this much effectiveness or accuracy or like this. So now come for the conclusions related thing. In your conclusion, basically some student or some researcher, they just changes something from the abstract and put the conclusion. Okay, but the conclusion, it should be it should flow, it should follow the your whole paper. Okay, so you need to mention the evidence or claim or each and everything in your conclusion, and try to say something that this will work better or whatever. Okay, and you need to refer your experiment part, that, okay, we get this type of thing. So this would be basically the conclusion of this paper. Okay, you need to conclude in some good manner. Okay, so yeah, here basically, yeah, these are not so important. And one important thing is that you should acknowledge if someone help you. Okay, maybe it is a very minor help or whatever, so you should acknowledge them. And acknowledge, I mean, for example, some students, they get fund from for the fund or the scholarship or blah blah. Okay, so you should acknowledge in one small paragraph that, okay, thanks for this scholarship, or thanks for this help from this particular person. They provide some help in terms of program on blah blah, if they are not the author, co-author of you. So you need to put their acknowledge, I mean, you need to acknowledge that. This is basically the ethical way to just mention their contribution. Okay, and the final is that conclusion I already mentioned a little bit about that, and this is the gist, the important, I mean the thing of the process of writing, that okay, start early. Whatever you will do, you should start it early. Okay, don't just go for the deadline. Okay, for example, I have only 1 month and I need to do lots of work. Okay, so don't do this. Start it early because you have the target to submit this paper in somewhere. So start working from today. Okay, and try to write every time you need to write something. Then revise it. Try to revise in terms of presentation and the typos and other things. Okay, so for example, if I try to go from one place to another place, so there are different way to go that place. Okay, but you should mention that straight away. Don't just try to, some student, for example me also, previously I thought that if I make this paper very hard in terms of equations and others, maybe I would get higher chance to get it accepted. But this is totally wrong claim. Okay, so whatever, if you want to go from this place to that place, you need to mention it straightly that, okay, this is the good way to go there. Don't just divert the readers or the reviewers. Okay, just do this and that, then go there. Okay, don't make it complex or difficult. Make it simple. Okay, so this is basically the important thing what I learned from my research. And try to do collaborate. Okay, obviously the collaboration is, if it will give you much more benefit in your research life basically. Yeah, so the this thing is for the reviewers. I mean, how you will divert the reviewers. Okay, so you need to, I mean, whatever the reviews you get from your journal submissions. Okay, you don't think that this is very bad review or whatever criticism they give, you need to take it as a praise. Okay, that, okay, the thing is that the reviewer finds something and they will try or help to improve your current quality of the paper. Okay, so you should concentrate, you should take all the points of the reviewers, very effectively, and try to just do the thing what the reviewers ask for. Okay, so so this is basically the goal task. Okay, and the final is, I think I am done, and we already spent 1 hour exact.
Yes.
So final, this is some tips that every researcher, they should go for weekly meeting with the teams. Okay, like the supervisor or the fellow researcher and this and that, and try to identify, try to think that what are the research gap. Okay, based on the literature review, because you need to read lot of paper, and lot of paper from the top journal or conferences. If you want to get some impact of your research, don't read any paper which are below, B level or like this. Okay, so try to yeah, get the literature review from the best venue basically in your domain, and don't think that this idea is very small. If you work on that idea, you will get a big work on that. And obviously, if you have some deadline or whatever, try to make it perfect before that deadline. At least you should give you 2 or 3 days, before the deadline, and relax. I mean, the whole one day, just relax it and think different way. Don't just think for that research. Okay, once you create your manuscript, just forget it. One day you just forget it. Just keep your mind, I mean, don't do anything or don't think on that particular paper. Okay, and the next day, you will get new idea. I mean, this happens with me basically. So if you work every day on the same thing, you will not improve yourself. So you need to stop sometime. one day just forget about that paper, just do any different thing. But the next day, obviously, some idea will come in your mind. Okay. And the final thing is that trust yourself and just do it. Okay, thanks for your time. We spent 1 hour maybe. And yeah, so if you have any questions, or you can contact me. I have this email ID. Or
Yes,
if you have
thanks,
any,
Dr. Noor.
then yeah.
There is some question in chat. You can read it. Can you read it, please, and answer it?
Okay, just I'm checking it. Yeah, I think Musa had one or two questions. So he says that yeah, he's from the medical, yeah. And yeah, Musa, in this case, basically, if you write something in on some domain like the bone disease and heart disease and this, but the thing is that if you are a PhD student, I guess you are a PhD student, okay. So if you are a PhD student, you shouldn't just jump from one domain or one subdomain to another subdomain, because your thesis matters, right? So the thesis should be consistent. The thesis should flow. I mean, follow some flow. There should be some connectivity. So if you think that bone disease or the heart disease, there is some connectivity at the end, okay, then you can do it. There is no problem. But if you just jump from one topic to another topic or subdomain topic, if there is no connection between the bone disease and the heart disease, don't do this. At least in your PhD. After PhD, you can do, no problem. Okay. So this is even for example in computer science. So there is cyber security, there is artificial intelligence, there is database related research. I mean, there are a lot of different subdomain. So if I just jump from one to another, and if you didn't get any connectivity, so that means your thesis is not good. Okay. So in your PhD, basically, I think I will just suggest, just focus on particular thing and try to get into a deeper. Okay, you need to go deeper. Don't just go for the breadth. You no need to just go for the breadth. I mean, random work or like this. Okay, so you need to go for the deeper thing and try to explore much more. So for example, if you are from the bone disease, you started on exploring the bone disease, so you need to go for the deeper thing, that what type of other research we have. And another question is that, is there is a problem if I publish many papers on the, okay, if this journal is good, you can do it. But if it is very low level journal, so it will obviously impact in your research in future. Because in the low level journal, they will just publish your research for the money at the end. Okay, so whatever you will submit, they will at the end, within 1 week or maybe 1 month, they will accept it. Don't do this. I mean, if you are a PhD student, so because you are getting only 3 years or 4 years, so why shouldn't you work on a good thing rather than just writing some garbage paper? Okay, so you need to think, if you can put your 90% effort, so why you cannot give your 100%? So try to just put much more effort. Okay, and at the end you will get, because this universe, it will obviously support. If you are doing the thing in a good way, the universe, I mean, this is the nature will support you at the end. So new idea will obviously come. But if you are just saying, oh no, I need only one degree, okay, I will just publish something and blah blah, so that is not the good way, because you are investing your time. Okay, so why you shouldn't invest in a good thing? So I think you get, yeah, answer, yeah, whatever. So any other questions?
I think there is no any question. So thanks, Dr. Noor, for this interesting presentation, and thanks for attend this seminar. And have a good night. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. Okay, Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you.